Welcome back in. Brain aneurysms can develop without warning, and many people may not know they have one until it becomes a medical emergency. Today, we're talking about the warning signs, who's most at risk, and how they're treated. Dr. Satara Kaneru and Julie Shaver, with ProMedica are here so we can learn more. Ladies, thanks for being here today.
Thanks so much.
So this is something we hear about sometimes. A perfectly healthy person, maybe young, no other issues, and then suddenly in the middle of the night or at any point they end up dying because they have a ruptured brain aneurysm. So talk us through what exactly a brain aneurysm is, how they develop, and then they rupture as well.
Yeah, so a brain aneurysm is essentially where one of the blood vessels in the brain gets a little bit weakened and can balloon out or kind of, balloon out is kind of really the best way to describe it. And because of that weakness of the vessel wall, that's where the risk of the rupture comes and them bursting and leading to bleeding in the brain. Mm-hmm. They're actually much more common than people even realize. Probably like 1 in 50 people have an unruptured brain aneurysm. Wow. So a lot of people have them, and most people don't even know about them unless they were to get a scan for some reason.
Right.
The vast majority of them don't rupture and they just kind of go silently. Okay. But certainly risk factors like high blood pressure, smoking, and even genetics can play a role into them developing and potentially rupturing in the future.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that prevention factor then, because you're like, well, I don't know what's going on inside my brain, but if you do maybe have some of those risk factors, how do you go about detecting whether or not you have one, and how, if you find out you do, what can you do about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think kind of backing up first, it's really important to control those risk factors as much as possible for aneurysms and cardiovascular health in general, so the high blood pressure and smoking and whatnot. But, you know, if you have people in the family who've had brain aneurysms, especially ruptured brain aneurysms, then certainly by our guidelines and the kind of big committees that help us, they do recommend screening with some kind of scan looking for these aneurysms. So talking to your primary care doctor about getting one of these scans is definitely an option. And if they were to find one, then seeing a neurointerventionalist to just talk about options. Sometimes it could be just observation and getting some scans in the future. And a lot of times there are options for treatment, even minimally invasive options these days.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know I have a family history. So the moment I told my primary care physician I was having some headaches, he sent me down for an MRI, and luckily we didn't find anything. But it's kind of nice to have that peace of mind, see if there's anything there.
Absolutely.
You also have an event coming up here soon if people want to learn more about brain aneurysms too.
Yes. On Friday, September 11th, we have an event at the ProMedica steam plant downtown. It is an aneurysm celebration event, not only for those who have survived a ruptured brain aneurysm or unruptured brain aneurysm, but also to honor the lives that have been lost of brain aneurysms. It is at 5 p.m. at the ProMedica steam plant, and we have information to sign up through an Eventbrite website. We started the event about 12 years ago with 30 people, and we actually have to cap the event now around 100 people. We're trying to grow it to make it as big as possible because it's incredibly inspiring, and these survivors and these patients, we feel that we want to continue to support them throughout their journey, and so we hope to continue to make it bigger every year.
Yeah, well, doctor, as you said, it's fairly common. 1 in 50
Absolutely.
people. It does impact a lot of people, and I imagine if they are to rupture, there's those medical emergencies. You're there to help try to patch things together, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So like you mentioned, it is a medical emergency if they rupture. So any signs and symptoms of it are reasons to be seen by a healthcare provider right away. And then if you do have a bleed from a ruptured aneurysms, we certainly have a lot of tools these days to help treat them through minimally invasive methods, endovascular, going through the arteries and putting coils into the aneurysm, putting stents across the aneurysm, other devices in the aneurysm to kind of block blood flow and protect them from rupturing.
Oh wow! Okay, so there's you've come a long way.
A long way, yes.
Yeah, which is good. And as you mentioned too, people can come out and celebrate, but also learn more.
Yep.
Tell folks again how they can go about registering, because it is free, but you need. It's popular.
Correct.
There are a lot of people who want to come, so you got to get registered.
Yeah, that's correct. So there's an Eventbrite website, or you can call our neuroscience clinic at 419-291-3900 to learn more. We'll also talk about some of the novel brain aneurysm treatment devices that we have and some research that we're doing at ProMedica Toledo Hospital in brain aneurysms as well.
Okay, lots of great information
Yeah.
there. Ladies, thanks for being here today.
Thank you
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.